Good evening, I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is Jeff Koinange live at Citizen Television. And you know, if it's Wednesday, it's all about JKL. Tonight, we're examining the state of the nation with just 33 days and 33 nights to go before the August poll. My guests tonight, Dr. PLO Lumumba, seated right there, front and center, and he'll be joined very shortly by lawyer Kalonzo Wanganjo. We're going to be talking about everything. It looks like the two principals have opted out of the Monday, July 10th debate. The question we're asking you is, was it right for the two main principals to opt out of the presidential debates? Simple yes or no. SMS your comments to 22422. You can also tweet us at Koinange Jeff. You can also use Kalonzo Wanganjo's Twitter handle at Kalonzo Wanganjo. PLO is not on Twitter. You can use Citizens at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag, as always, is JKLive. And JKLive begins right now, tonight. We are not going. Kenyatta and Odinga declined presidential debates, claiming lack of consultation. But organizers disagree. 3 police officers dead as Al-Shabaab terrorists strike Pandanguo police post in Lamu County. Madara family seeks justice after quack doctor maims son's private parts in botched circumcision. And the government warns of prolonged maize shortage as army worms munch a quarter of expected yield. All right, welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter is Winnie Adoyo. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta and NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga have opted out of the 2017 presidential debate, citing alleged lack of consultations. But the organizers of the debate, who are local media houses, maintain that they have extensively engaged with the candidates' campaign teams when planning the debates. The organizers further say preparations for the debates will continue, as Patrick Agunza now reports.
It is here.
The podium is ready and the country is collectively counting down to the 5 days before the eagerly awaited 2017 presidential debate. But in an apparent disagreement with the extent of consultations, the two main challengers, Kenyatta and Odinga, have bowed out. Kenyatta was the first to pull out through a message by the Jubilee Party Vice Chair David Murathe, a position later confirmed by Secretary General Raphael Tuju, claiming that neither the party nor State House was formally contacted regarding the debate. Odinga, through the National Super Alliance, shortly thereafter also issued a statement pulling out of similar claims. But in a response, the debate's steering committee insists it has engaged all candidates extensively in planning the debates. The committee, in a statement, further says, and I quote, "The guidelines, including the format of the debate, were not only communicated but also published on the broadcast, print and online platforms of the participating media houses." End quote. Both the Jubilee Party and NASA campaign teams were conspicuously missing from a pre-debate briefing held last Friday. This despite the teams having acknowledged receipt of their invitation. Kenyatta and Odinga's withdrawal provoked sharp reactions from some of the other presidential candidates.
We find this act of refusal very unfortunate. It's actually an act of cowardice. It's an act of cowardice that is premised upon the fact that they really do not want to face other presidential candidates who met the same constitutional test that they met.
At the Catholic University, the venue of the debate, the preparations are in full swing. Carpenters and technicians are giving the venue final touches. The organizers are promising an engaging debate which will touch on 13 thematic areas ranging from health to education, trade to food security, as well as matters leadership, integrity and graft. 8 candidates are meant to participate in the debate, which acts as a platform for them to articulate their respective vision for the country. It also will help citizens make informed decisions come August 8th. While it may not be clear whether the 2 key candidates from the 2 leading coalitions will be participating in this year's event, one thing is for sure: the debate will go on one way or the other. Patrick Igunza, JKL, Nairobi.
All right, thank you, Patrick. On to campaign news, and President Uhuru Kenyatta took his hunt for votes to Kajiado County, where he sharply criticized Raila Odinga's recent claims on local land rights. In Tana River County, Deputy President William Ruto accused NASA of hoodwinking Kenyans by releasing 2 manifestos. Jackie Maribe has the details.
3 weeks after NASA presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga toured Kajiado County and made controversial remarks on land ownership, President Kenyatta pitched tent in the same area, urging residents to shun divisive rhetoric.
Lakini sio kwenda kuinsight mwenzako. Kwa sababu Kenya ni yetu sisi wote. Sisi wote tumeona yale ambayo yalitendeka wakati wa Kenya walimwaga damu. Mwataka turudi huko?
Kenyatta leading Jubilee politicians in condemning Odinga's remarks, in which he asked locals not to sell land to outsiders.
Sasa ikisemekana ya kwamba kila mtu arudi kwao, kwao ni wapi? Kwao ni wapi? Sio ni kuhatarisha maisha? Sio ni kuhatarisha maisha jameni?
Taking issue with his brand of politics, the leaders accused Odinga of propagating ethnic divisions.
Sisi kama watu wa Jubilee tunaongea siasa ya maendeleo, amani na watu kuungana.
Kenyatta committing to address local land issues.
Kama ni mambo ya mashamba, wenzetu tukae, tupange. Sisi tuliwaambia tuko na suluhu ya mambo ya mashamba. Kwa muda wa miaka 4 tumepatia Wakenya zaidi ya milioni 3 vyeti vya kumiliki shamba zao. Tunaelewana? Kwa hivyo kama ni hiyo, tuseme ya kwamba hii ndiyo suluhu.
Serikali ya Jubilee tunasema safari hii, ndugu zangu watu wa Chonyi, hatutaki kuacha nyuma.
The Deputy President was also on NASA's case, taking the Jubilee campaigns to Tana River and Kilifi counties. Ruto took on the opposition for its 2 manifestos that are said to be products of 2 competing sides in the coalition.
Now that they have confirmed from their own admission that their manifesto was done by corrupt cartels and tenderpreneurs, what moral authority do they have to still continue looking for votes in Kenya when it is confirmed that the tenderpreneurs are paying for their transport, the tenderpreneurs are paying for the campaign of the NASA coalition, and now they have even put in their manifesto projects which they will use to recover their money.
But we want to tell NASA, muli launch manifesto 2, moja mulificha na moja mulipatia wa Kenya. Na ile mulificha tunajua.
Ruto once again claiming the NASA campaign is being funded by corrupt cartels.
They have to make up their minds whether they are a tender company or they are a political party. Kwa sababu vile mambo ilivyo sasa ni kwamba wao wanaendeshwa na watu ambao wanajulikana wamefuja mali ya Wakenya.
The president launched the tamaking of Imaroro Mashuru Isara Road and announced plans to waive 3.6 billion shillings in debts owed to Agriculture Finance Corporation by livestock farmers in the county. The head of state touring Isara, Mashuru, Bisil, Maili 46, Kajiado Town, Isinya and Kitengela, while the DP took to Bura in Tana River and Magarini, Ganze, Gotanyi and Chonyi in Kilifi County. Aside from selling the development agenda and hitting home for the electorate here, and that is on the land question, clanism will also play a key role in how the electorate in Kajiado County vote Come August 8th, as Jubilee hopes to clinch the 411,000 registered voters here. Jackie Mariba, Citizen TV in Kitengela, Kajiado County.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Now, at the same time, Opposition Chief Raila Odinga returned to Bomet County today, where he promised the region's predominantly farming community greater returns for agricultural produce under a NASA administration. Elsewhere, NASA running mate Kalonzo was in Machakos County, where he accused President Kenyatta's government of seeking votes from the region by unfairly claiming credit for public-funded projects. Sam Agina has the details.
The opposition team of NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga and Bomet Governor Ruto are seeking to reverse the tide in a region that overwhelmingly backed President Uhuru Kenyatta's presidency in 2013. Governor Ruto then, the Jubilee's point man in the region. Despite managing a paltry 10,000 votes against President Uhuru Kenyatta's 210,000 votes in the last election, Odinga believes the winds of change are strong enough to deliver a resounding victory to the opposition.
Nataka ushindi round ya kwanza. Sawa. First round. Sawa. Ati Jubilee out first round.
Mwaka huu ninawaomba munipigie kura mara mbili. Munanipigia kura, you vote for me twice. Wewe ukipigia kura Rais Amolo Odinga, umenipigia kura pia kuwa Deputy Premier Secretary.
With 322,012 registered voters in Bomet County, the opposition's brief is to destabilize one of Jubilee's bedrock and rattle the status quo. NASA claiming it has within its ranks experienced managers to take over from the Jubilee administration that it accuses of incompetence.
Kazi ya kuendesha nchi inataka mtu ambaye amekomaa na ana ujuzi ya kuendesha nchi. Sio hiyo?
Taona mabadiliko yale makubwa. Manake wale ni watu tumechukua nao kwa serikali. Walipokuwa kule na Kibaki, kwanza mimi nilishika mambo ya barabara.
The opposition promising the implementation of its manifesto that offers better earnings for farmers in the region and compensation for those displaced by the construction of the Ndanai Transmara Road.
Nimekuja kwenu kuomba kura zenu.
And in Machakos County, NASA presidential running mate Kalonzo and Musalia Mudavadi accused Jubilee of hoodwinking the region voters with the politics of development.
Unaleta mabusu kutoka China, wanajenga reli, alafu unaleta driver wa hiyo train kutoka Uchina, na kuna vijana milioni 12 hapa Kenya ambao hawana kazi.
Kwa hivyo sisi tunania kung'oa Jubilee mamlakani, sio kwa sababu ya kwamba tutataka mamlaka. Sisi nataka wananchi wapate mamlaka.
Kalonzo also scoffed at Deputy President William Ruto's offer for a job under the Jubilee administration and urged the region to vote for Wiper candidates.
Ati wao wanasema hawana haja na kura ya Ukambani. Wanataka tu only 100,000. Hata 1,000 wasipate.
Kalonzo mtu mwaminifu, mja Mungu, anaweza kuwa naibu wa Ruto kweli? Si mnajua kuna Ruto wawili, Isaac Ruto na ule Ruto mwingine.
As the campaigns hit the home stretch, the opposition chief is now taking the battle for the 2017 presidential contest right into Jubilee's doorstep. Sam Agina, Citizen TV in Bomet County.
Thank you, Sam. Now on to IEBC news, and the Electoral Commission says it will not publish the voter register as demanded by NASA until 2 weeks to the general election. IEBC Commissioner Roslyn Akombe further says there is no law requiring the Commission to immediately publish names of voters in each polling station. But, as Francis Gashuri reports, the roll of voters will be available on request at a cost of 20,000 shillings.
The Commission has been under pressure from the opposition team NASA and a section of the civil society to make public the final voter register that will be used in the general election that is 33 days away. But the register will not be published until 2 weeks to the polls, with the Commission insisting it was only obligated to publish a summary of registered voters in constituencies and counties.
I know the concern, or what people would want us to do, is to put out 19.6 million names in a newspaper, yeah. or in a Kenya Gazette, but that is not a requirement in law.
The opposition coalition has for a month demanded the publication of the register, arguing that its supporters needed to confirm the registration details, specific polling stations where they will vote, and identify who else was registered in the centers to avert any attempts to import voters on the election day.
That when you have the register out in each polling station during that month, the job, it's not only the biometric verification, but in other jurisdictions where we call inspection, that is the moment you go in. You look at that register and you say, this person is deceased. This person is no longer here. This person we don't recognize in the register for an entire month.
During the month-long voter register verification, only 35% of those listed turned up to confirm their registration details. However, the Commission says the register is available to political parties and stakeholders, but at a fee.
The register is also available to you, to Citizen TV, to you as Woodwork, to me. I could write to the IEBC and request to be given a copy of the register. All I need to do is do a letter to the CEO, do my banker's check of 20,000 Kenya shillings, and go with my CD or whatever it is, that then they can upload all that information for you.
The National Elections Observer Group, ELOG, has also sought clarity from the Commission on the voter register's authenticity and specific answers on the anomalies that were detected in the roll of voters by KPMG during the audit process.
And then what was the fate of about 264,000 voters who had either duplicate IDs or passports, and some of those were also out of range. So what has IEBC done to conclude that issue? And then we also had people, I think 2,610, who had registered with both an ID and a passport, and how that has been resolved.
The KPMG report will be made public by the end of the week. According to IEBC, names of close to 90,000 dead voters have since been expunged from the register, as recommended by KPMG, though there could be up to 1 million deceased persons still in the register. Francis Gashuri, JKL.
Thank you, Francis. Now, in other news, 3 police officers were killed and 1 seriously injured when suspected Al-Shabaab militants attacked a police post in Lamu County. Police say several militants were killed in an ensuing battle that lasted more than 7 hours. And as Hassan Mugambi reports, police are searching for 1 missing officer.
The close to 7-hour siege on Pandanguo area of Lamu County started with a dawn attack on a mobile communication mast, rendering communication impossible. The militants then broke into a local dispensary and stole medicine. The insurgents, numbering about 150, then turned their guns on Pandanguo police post, where they engaged officers in a fierce gun battle, making away with a police land cruiser, weapons and foodstuff. The response teams, drawn from the Rapid Deployment Unit of the Administration Police and the Kenya Defence Forces, pushed them towards the Boni Forest. Police Chief Joseph Bomet says 3 officers were killed and 1 seriously injured. Police shot dead several militants.
The police station was attacked early morning. Reinforcements were sent in, and there is engagement as we speak right now.
Bonet says all but 1 officer out of the 19 who are manning the post have been accounted for.
No, it has not gotten out of hand. And that's why we are saying we need the support of everyone, and we need people to talk about things in a responsible manner.
The attack happened hot on the heels of the Operation Linda Boni, which involves police and KDF. Questions now being raised over how 150 militants advanced undetected.
Despite the numerous security breaches in Lamu County and the larger Kenya-Somalia border, the police headquarters maintains that the situation is totally under control. Well, be the judge. Hassan Mugambi, Citizen TV.
All right, thank you, Hassan. Now, listen to this story. It was meant to be a simple rite of passage that should have taken an 8-year-old boy just 2 weeks to heal. But the circumcision done in April has turned out to be a nightmare for his family in Mathare after a suspected quack operating in a backstreet clinic sliced off his organ. Ouch. Mercy Kandie has the details.
Abdi, not his real name, looks to his father for answers, but his troubled father is lost in thought. He took his 2 sons for circumcision at a clinic in Mathare, Nairobi, before he noticed something amiss.
Nikaona huyu daktari anatetemeka mkono. Nikamuuliza, wewe daktari, hiyo hospitali ni yako? Akaniambia ni yangu, mimi ndio nafanyanga hiyo kazi.
The wobbly hands left a bad wound that only healed this week, 2 months later, but a more sinister damage had already been done.
Uona nikaona ana hata mzipa yote imekatwa yote. Mpaka mwili, mpaka hata ile msipa ya kukojoa ana.
The consequences have been devastating for his child. He has had to drop from school. The visits to the toilet have become too embarrassing.
Ananiambia baba anasikia uchungu sana. Nimekuwa nyumbani tu manake hakuwa akikojoa vizuri. Watoto wanamchekelea, hasa akienda kukojoa anajikojolea.
It turns out the culprit is almost certainly a quack. Daniel Yumbia, CEO Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist, says neither Moses Angungu, who operated on Abdi and his Pona clinic in Mathare 10, is registered with the board. The quack medic sneaked through the back door when we visited the clinic.
Na mimi nafanyanga kazi ya bodaboda. Kama saa hizi sasa vile nilipeleka mtoto Gertrude naambiwa pesa ile nitatoa, kadi sina chochote.
Godana had struggled to raise 2,000 for his 2 sons' rite of passage. Now he's banking his faith on well-wishers to fundraise for his son's much-needed reconstructive surgery. Mercy Kandie Tanui, JKL.
What a terrible story. Mercy Kandie, thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, come back. Business news up next, and then quick roundup of sports. In the meantime, we're asking you the question, was it right for the two principals, to opt out of the presidential debate? Again, was it right for the 2 principals to opt out of the presidential debate? Simple yes or no. SMS your answers to 22422. You can tweet us at Koinange Jeff, at Kamodo Waiganjo. PLO is not on Twitter yet. At Citizen TV Kenya, the hashtag as always, JKLive. JKLive takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.